Matt Bernie for RacingPicks.com, taking a look at 6 horses to consider on Saturday, September the 5th. All of them from Churchill Downs, all of them in the last 6 races of the card. There's a 20-cent jackpot pick 6 if you're so inclined to play, or maybe you want to play the pick 5 or the pick 4, whatever it may be, leading into and including this year's Run for the Roses, the Kentucky Derby. Here we go. We'll start off in race number 9, one-turn mile, the Grade 2 Pat Day. I'm really intrigued with the 4 horse. He was going to be my best bet, or he was my play of the day last Saturday. Unfortunately, he scratched from the Pat O'Brien against older horses. The number 4 Vertical Threat, for all the reasons I mentioned last week. Visually, he's been spectacular in 2 lifetime starts on dirt. Now they ship him out of town and they stretch him out in distance to a one-turn mile. There are some really talented runners in here, but I think Vertical Threat at 8-1 is one to, at the very least, consider underneath, but I'm certainly going to be playing him to win. I think the sky's the limit for this Richard Baltas trainee. Move on to race number 10. This is a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, a one-turn mile for the Grade 3 Iroquois. These are 2-year-olds, and you can go a few different ways. I was most intrigued, though, with the number 8 Midnight Bourbon, one of a couple in here for Steve Asmussen. Broke his maiden very, very impressively, most recently at Ellis Park in his second lifetime start. The career debut, went out there, pressed the pace, faded. Don't want to hold that against him. That effort most recently, he was very, very impressive visually. The pedigree is there. He's by Tiz now. He's a half to a Grade 1 winner in Gervin, who won the Haskell a number of years ago. I just think this horse makes all the sense in the world. You also have a nice little stat here for Steve Asmussen's barn. Past year, 1 to 14 day layoff. Dirt winner last out, 5 for 18 with a $2 flat ROI. The number 8 Midnight Bourbon for me in the Iroquois. We move on to race number 11. It is the Distaff Turf Mile. I get it. Newspaper of record. She's probably just better than all these horses, and she's probably just going to win out there on the front end. If you're so inclined to take a shot against her, perhaps the number 7 La Signare is one to consider for Brendan Walsh. The Jenny Wiley, most recently at Keeneland. No pace signed on that day against exceptional racehorses. Draw a line through that. The Run 2 back and the Mint Julep. I think she would have won had she not been stopped at the top of the lane. And unfortunately, that's just sort of part of the deal if you're going to be rallying from well off the pace. But she's a horse who I think is actually on the improve as a 5-year-old mare. Again, not suggesting newspaper of record is a likely loser, but if you're so inclined, the 7 La Signare in the Distaff Turf Mile. Let's move on to race number 12. It is the Distaff Stakes, going 7/8 of a mile, the Derby City Distaff to be exact. These are fillies and mares. I think this is an opportunity, and it's a horse that I've loved, and I hope she runs well, so the connections go on to the Breeders' Cup with her. The number 6, Sally's Curlin. She's 12-1 on the morning line. She needs a little bit of pace, but she is the definition of a one-turn horse through and through. She had no pace to run at in the Grade 1 Madison, and I still thought she ran quite well, all things considered. Second start off the bench, a little bit more pace signed on in this spot. Again, don't know if she's good enough to win against this group. Pace really needs to heat up. 12-1 at the very least. Think about using her underneath. The number 6, Sally's Curlin. She'll actually be my play of the day, I think, on Saturday afternoon. Let's move on to race number 13, mile and an eighth. It's the Turf Classic. This, to me, feels like it's a wide-open affair. Chad Brown has a few in here. I'm most intrigued with the number 8, Sacred Life. Again, this could be an instance where the class situation, maybe it's a little bit of an optical illusion. The run in the Oceanport off the layoff was spectacular. There wasn't a ton of speed signed on that day, and this horse kicked like an absolute mule down the lane. Now he gets out to a mile and an eighth, and in a race where I think there's going to be a fair pace signed on, there are no superstars in here. Rock Emperor, sort of the more fancied of the Chad trio, I don't trust him at all. He can win this race, but he's lost on a number of occasions where I thought he should have got the job done. Sacred Life, I wonder if maybe this was the plan all along. Let's get a confidence booster into him. He certainly should have got some confidence out of that run, absolutely burying that field in New Jersey. He shows up here with some pace to run at. He's 6-1 on the morning line. Paco Lopez retains the mount. The number 8, Sacred Life for me in the Turf Classic. And then we move on to the big one, race number 14, a mile and a quarter on the main track. It is the Grade 1 Kentucky Derby for 3-year-old boys and girls. This year it's only boys. And all along, I had no interest in trying to beat Tiz the Law. And as we get closer and closer to race day, I'm more and more convinced he's just going to win for fun. I don't know that you're even going to get 3 to 5, honestly, when it's all said and done. He makes all the sense in the world. He checks all the boxes. He has the mind, he has the athleticism, and he has the relationship with the rider. He has the running style. You name it. There's a million reasons to like Tiz the Law. It's why he's going to be odds on, and in my opinion, that's why he's going to win the Kentucky Derby rather emphatically on Saturday afternoon. Again, 6 races, the last 6 on Saturday's card at Churchill Downs on Saturday, September the 5th. If you're so inclined, you've got the pick 6, you've got the pick 5, the pick 4, the pick 3, the double. Number of different things that you can play. For this video, if you want to go back and watch it again, You want to see some of the other analysis from a number of different folks, including the likes of Andrew Champagne, among others, Peter Thomas Fornatale. Head on over to racingpicks.com. Good luck and enjoy the Derby this year.